Hello there, and welcome to Wednesday. It's Hump Day. It's the 8th of August, and I want to continue on with the first time buyers video series. Last week we kind of branched off onto the new website, but I want to kind of step back. Just to recap, we've talked about lenders, how to find a lender, how to find a realtor, knowing the difference in rates and what monies you'll need up front. We got into looking for a home, which is the fun part of this. So now what we need to get into a little bit is the contract. It's really the next step in this progression. So we found a home, something we like, we want to put a bid in. Now we're going to start signing contracts. It's important. I'm not going to go through all the contracts or anything like that, but it's a couple things you need to know. One is you need to know what's in the contract. Now, when I bought my first house, and that was a good number of years ago, the realtor just told me where to sign, told me what to give them. I signed everything in like all kinds of carbon paper, gave them what they said to give them, and I ended up with a house. It was a wonderful thing. Nothing went wrong. Probably more luck than anything else. The second house I bought from a realtor who I'd known for a number of years, great guy, but I did the same thing. He told me where to sign. I signed in triplicate or however number of copies there were. He told me what to give him. I gave it to him, and I ended up with a house. Again, didn't have any issues, but it was more on luck than it was me knowing what I was actually getting into. Here's what I want you to understand about a contract. It is a legal and binding document. Once you sign this contract, you are in a contract. So you need to know what's in it. You're going to make an investment in a home that for most people is a 30-year mortgage. And I want you to think about that, 30 years. If you're young and just starting off and this is your first home, in that 30-year time frame, you're going to raise your kids. They're going to move out. You're going to get grandkids around probably. That's a long time. You're going to have 5, 10, 15 jobs in that period. If you're like some people, that's a long time, and you need to be aware of what you're getting into. Now, the way we do this, or at least the way I do this, is when we first have our first meeting, I'm going to give you some samples of contracts that I want you to read. Do I expect you to understand everything you're reading? Of course not. It's a bunch of legal jumbo written by lawyers to eliminate problems before they occur. But it gets you familiar with it, because when we get ready to do the contract, we're going over it. And it goes a lot smoother if you've read through it, if you've jotted some questions down, things you didn't understand, and I can go through and explain it to you as we go along and answer your questions. That way, as you sign that piece of paper and you give me that money, that earnest money deposit, and we turn it in, and once they sign it, we have that meeting of the minds, and it's a legal contract, you know what you're getting into. We take that time to go over the road bumps that can occur during this process, where things could go wrong and how we're going to fix them when we do. Now, everyone's got some issue that no one's ever had before, but we'll work through all that. And the contract has been developed over a number of years, and it will handle most of those problems. So it's important that you do understand the contract. And that's really all I want to get out on it. Don't just sign what a realtor tells you. It's great that you trust them, but you're trusting them with a 30-year investment. Think about that. You need to know what's going on with it. So come to Bob Chandler, sellshomes.com if you want to see this video. On my blog, there's a thing there that says Bob's Blogs, or some of the past videos. If you missed them, give me a call. My number's on that same website. It's 540-537-0774, or go to my Facebook, which is where you're probably seeing this, but just in case not, you can search for Bob Chandler Realtor, or just put in the little @ sign Bob Chandler MKB. It'll bring you right to these as well. So have a great day, have a good week, and next week we're going to get into home inspections, and that's going to take a couple weeks because that's also a big deal. So until then, have a great week, guys.